Hi friends, this is Manish Pandey. Welcome back to UiPath Forms tutorial series. In this video, we will talk about an exciting topic, triggers and UiPath Forms trigger. Triggers help us make our workflows smarter by automatically reacting to the events. In this video, I will give you a quick overview of triggers and UiPath Forms triggers, how they work, and I will show you an exciting demo using a bookmark application form. So let's get started. Let's understand what are triggers. Triggers are like automatic signals that help start or control a process when something specific happens. It acts as a bridge between an event and the actions that needs to be performed. You can say a trigger is a combination of one event and an action. And events are things like button clicked, form appeared or disappeared, form closed, form maximized, form minimized, text field value changed, option selected, those things. And the action would actually be individual workflow like our XML files or a sequence of steps written in the existing project. Let's take a real life example to better understand triggers. Imagine your house light turning on automatically when it gets dark outside. That's a trigger at work. When you switch on the light, your light is on. When you switch off, your light is off. So here the trigger is at work. Your alarm clock rings at a specific time. That's a trigger. You can say that's a time based trigger. Your washing machine starts when you press a button. That is also a trigger. Think about a doorbell. When someone presses the button, the bell rings. So press the button is the event or trigger, and the bell rings, that is the action. So trigger is a combination of event and an action. Similarly, in automation, triggers help us decide when and how a workflow should start or respond to the changes. Now, as we are talking about triggers, then let's discuss about UiPath Orchestrator trigger as well. There are four triggers: time triggers, queue triggers, event triggers, and API triggers. Time based triggers, these triggers start a process at a scheduled time. For example, every day at 6 am or every hour between 10 to 6 pm, that the specific process should be started. Queue triggers. These triggers are activated when new items are added to queue in UiPath Orchestrator. Event triggers. It starts whenever a specified event occurs, like a file being created or a folder being modified. We have API triggers. These are used when external systems send requests through API to start a process. For example, starting a workflow when an online order is placed. Do you know why triggers are important? Because it saves time by automating repetitive tasks. It makes workflow responsive and efficient. It makes our form responsive, intelligent, and efficient. It reduces the need for constant monitoring. If you even have a basic understanding of VB.NET, we create a Windows app as a form. It looks like a form. When you create that, it shows a form 1 and then form 2. And it allows us to drag and drop the control to forms like buttons, text box, drop down, those things. And we write code to trigger some actions. Like when we click on button, it should perform some action like this. So let's say when we click on button, so there will be event, there will action performed by clicking on the button. It will show a message box like visit here for more UiPath tutorials. This is the website youtube.com/uipathrpa. Similarly, UiPath Form Triggers has the capabilities to perform actions based on trigger. Now let's talk about UiPath Form Triggers. UiPath Form Triggers allow you to perform specific actions when event occurs inside the form, like clicking a button or selecting an options. For example, when you click a button, it opens a file or shows a message or performs set of actions written in the workflow. Form triggers make UiPath forms more intelligent and user-friendly. Form triggers are designed for UiPath forms. There are types of triggers: form event triggers, application related triggers. Let's say text field changed. It triggers when a user modified the text in field. Select changed triggers when user changes the value in a drop down or radio buttons. We have checkbox changed. We have click button, appeared, disappeared, minimized or focus lost, focus gained, state changed, location changed, close the forms. These are like type of triggers we can say. And based on this trigger, some actions perform. Let's look at a demo to understand UiPath form triggers better. So I've created a form called Bookmark Application. And this form lets you open applications as per your need, like Notepad, Microsoft Paint, Calculator, etc. If you click on Notepad, it opens the Notepad application immediately. Similarly, if you click on MS Paint, it opens Paint. If you click on Calculator, it opens the Calculator app. And finally, if you click on Close Form, it closes the form and stops the process entirely. For each button, I used a click event trigger, the button click. For example, the Notepad button is linked to a trigger that launches the Notepad. Similarly, the calculator, this is a button click trigger. This is linked to a trigger that launches the calculator app when it is clicked. Click on close form, that will close the form. In this session, we learned about triggers, including UiPath Orchestrator triggers like queue, time, event, and API triggers. We also explored UiPath form triggers and saw how they make forms interactive and intelligent. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments what topic you want me to cover next. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.